Hi, I'm State Senator Joe Markley at the Capitol, even though we're not in session today. Actually, Human Services and Appropriations Committee had a hearing that I came up to attend. But I also wanted the chance to talk to you before what could be a critical vote on Monday. As you know from my last report and from the news, the House of Representatives approved the revised union contracts on Monday on a party line vote. And the word is that there will be a vote in the Senate on Monday, which to my mind means that at the moment the 18 Democratic senators will all support the agreement that was negotiated by the governor. And the lieutenant governor would then cast the deciding vote and those contracts would be approved. The longer I've looked at those contracts, the more I've learned about them, and the more I think about our situation in Connecticut, I think it is crucial that those contracts be rejected. There are savings in them indeed, and there are concessions in them. But there's also an extension of the contracts to the year 2027. A new governor, a Republican governor, and a Republican legislature would come in with their hands tied. And given what we need to do to turn this state around, that would be a disaster for Connecticut. I'm doing this tape kind of on the last minute and kind of on the fly because I want to tell people who live in districts, especially that are represented by Democratic state senators, to please contact your state senator and tell them you're concerned about this contract and urge them to vote against it. It's not out of hostility or disrespect towards state employees. It's simply a recognition of the severe economic situation we're in Connecticut. We can't afford to extend contracts that we can't afford to pay. We've made obligations as a state, regrettably, obligations that we simply can't pay for. And we need to renegotiate those obligations and not stretch them out again. And as I've said before, even if you take the concessions as being worth $1.5 billion, we're trading a short-term savings for greater costs in the long term. There's a wage freeze for 2 years, but then in the third, fourth, and fifth years, there's bonuses and catch-ups, so that in the end, employees do very, very well under them. I'm happy for them to do well, but I don't want to see the taxpayers stuck with the bill. And the problem isn't simply the bill, it's the effect that those bills are having on our economy in Connecticut. We can't keep raising taxes. On that matter, by the way, I've also included in this email a link to an op-ed that I just wrote that compares our current situation to what I saw back in 1991 during the anti-income tax days. You know, in the debate on the contracts, one of the House Democrats said, to my mind, some of the most terrifying words you hear at the Capitol: we have to do something. We have to do something indeed, but the most important thing is that we do the right thing. These contracts are not right for Connecticut, in my opinion. And if you agree with me, between now and Monday, please get in touch with your state senator, especially your Democratic state senator if you have one, and let them know that you're concerned about those contracts and you hope they'll vote no. This is Joe Markley at the state capitol. I'm sure I'll be back to you on Monday when we see how this all comes up. If we're up here, it's probably going to pass. If it's not going to pass, they may not call us in. That's what I'm hoping for. Thank you for your help and thank you for your attention.